What's happening, YouTube and Regal Gentlemen watchers? We're back at Cuts and Bruises with myself, Clipper Ken, and we're going to do a little haircut here today, right? So Max here, what he wants to do is he wants to grow out the top, leave as much length as possible, but still maintain his sort of high skin fade that he usually gets done. In terms of growing out the top, what you want to do, I'll just face Max to you here. If you're growing out your hair, the best thing to do is to not cut it. Plain and simple. So what we're going to do here is literally just take off the ends, take off the little wispy ends, and make sure it's all level and even, yeah? You can see here at the front here that there's sort of a fringe area that's a little bit uneven. So we're just going to make sure that's all even and it can grow back nice and healthy. What I'm going to do with the fade as well is I'm going to bring the skin fade up quite... Is it a skin fade you want? Or? Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to bring the skin fade up quite high, but I'm going to drop the fade down just so it allows for the edges out here to grow in a little bit more. So, because Max doesn't know what he wants to do with his hair yet, so we'll just give him as much option as we can. Yeah? Cool, let's get started. In case you're a little bit confused about what I meant by keeping the fade high but also dropping it a little bit. So I've put my guideline in sort of at sort of like a high fade point, but then with the skin I'm actually going to drop it down a little bit lower, leaving a bit of a gap, which means overall the fade's going to look high but the regrowth can still come out quite natural. Where he's keeping the length on top, by dropping it down, by not taking the skin all the way up, it just allows a little bit more room for all this to grow out. And it look a little like, on the regrowth, for it to look a lot more natural as well, yeah. Because like I said, Max doesn't really know what he wants to do yet, so you don't want to kind of box his options in, you know. You might find as it grows out, actually it looks a little bit nicer on the sides. Maybe wants to drop it a little bit next time, have a low fade, see what the length does on the sides, take it from there.
So what are you going to do with the top, Ken?
Literally just take these wispy bits off. Max wants to grow the top, so we're not going to actually cut too much off at all. Otherwise that kind of goes against growing it. And if you are growing your hair, the best advice is to just not cut it at all. Just try and go as long as you can without cutting it, otherwise you're kind of just taking steps backwards. You can see that Max is actually quite fair, so what I've done about dropping the fade, like stretching it out, is kind of just about be seen, but we kind of maintain the high and tightness of the fade, but also sort of like the skin only starts sort of around this area here, which means when this all grows through, this is going to grow obviously more before this, allowing for the top length ultimately to grow in a bit sort of more naturally with the head shape, allowing Max to make a sort of educated decision without it kind of being folded over and only being stuck with one thing and not cutting too much of the length off. Yeah, all good?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.